November seems to be completely stacked in terms of strategy game releases, and today we'll be covering all the major games that are going to be releasing this month. This list is arranged in order of release date, and if you enjoy the video, then please subscribe to the channel. Less than 1% of the people watching my videos are actually subscribed, and it would mean the world to me if you could join me on this journey together. So without further ado, let's get right into it. Starting this list off is Europa Universalis 4's King of Kings DLC, which releases on the 6th of November. King of Kings is an immersion pack for EU4, which means that it will add new content and gameplay mechanics that affect a particular geographic region in the game. In this DLC, Cairo, Constantinople and Isfahan get a fresh new look with new historical flavor, greater gameplay variety and compelling alternate histories, so you can enjoy these factions in depth like never before. Paradox will be adding over 300 new missions, 150 new events and dozens of changes to the government reforms and estate mechanics for the Byzantine Empire, Mamluk Egypt as well as Persia. Armenia, Arabia and Yemen will also receive some smaller but much needed changes. The game will also get a large free update on the same day, with this update adding content for older DLCs along with many quality of life changes. So look forward to King of Kings DLC and the new update on 6th of November. Next on the list, releasing the day after on the 7th of November, is Age of Wonders 4's latest and greatest new DLC, Empires and Ashes. This expansion pack will allow the players to choose a whole new culture as well as a brand new physical form in the faction builder. The new culture are the Reavers, who are an industrial and technologically minded people and stop at nothing in the name of progress, fueling their relentless march towards the future through conquest and war. Empires and Ashes also brings 2 new story missions and 4 new tomes of magic, which allow you to unlock the secrets of transportation, get some anti-magic capabilities and muster armies of battle automations. All of this sounds awesome. There is also a lot of smaller content as well, like bear mounts for your characters as well as an avian form which allows you to fashion your people as bird-like creatures. With every new DLC and update, Age of Wonder 4 keeps becoming the ultimate fantasy 4X strategy game, which allows you to rule a fantasy realm of your own design. Look forward to this DLC on the 7th of November. Moving on to the next, and oh boy do we have a head turner. The remaster of one of the most beloved classic strategy games, the very first Stronghold game. On the 7th, we are getting Stronghold Definitive Edition. Stronghold is a series of simulation and building strategy games where you build your perfect dream castle and withstand as hordes of enemies throw themselves on your walls. Stronghold Definitive Edition is a remake of the first game with higher resolution reworked 4K assets all across the board. It brings with it completely new artwork, higher fidelity soundtracks, as well as full multiplayer support. Even with all these modern technological updates, the game still retains its old 2001 art style and 2D aesthetics and is faithful to the original game. And of course, the game comes with the original campaign, fully remastered, in which you take control of the king of fractured and war-torn medieval England and unite your kingdom against treacherous and villainous lords who have betrayed you. And if all this amazing content wasn't enough, Stronghold Definitive Edition also comes with a massive new 14 mission campaign that sees players march across the devastated English hinterlands in search of Sir Longarm's captured kin. After a rather lackluster and dormant few years, is this finally the time for the Stronghold franchise to shine once again as it did in its prime back in the day? Find out with me on 7th of November, the day Stronghold Definitive Edition releases. On 9th November, the Legacy of Persia flavor pack releases for Crusader Kings 3. This thematic DLC focuses on the well-populated lands of Persia, which are rich in resources and often the crossroads of an empire. The theme of this pack is that the Abbasid Caliphate is on the decline, so the Iranian rulers see this as an opportunity and set upon independence. You can play as the Iranians to subjugate the faltering caliphate, or you can play as the Abbasid Caliphate and bring order to the region and rebuild your empire and reclaim your power. This DLC adds more historical flavor by adding new decisions, interactions, and buildings for rulers in the Persian region, as well as special content highlighting the importance of clan leadership and protecting the frontier regions. The Iranian cultures also get new traditions like court scholars, unique men-at-arms, and powerful new buildings to bring out the riches of these barren lands. There are also some smaller but immersive changes like the Persian characters getting new clothing, redesigned Persian buildings, and the UI taking more of an Iranian appearance, along with 8 new music tracks to fit the theme of this DLC. Everyone knows it that Crusader Kings 3 is awesome, and it gets even better on the 9th of November with the release of its latest flavor pack, The Legacy of Persia, so look forward to it, because I surely am. Releasing next on the list on 14th of November is my personal favorite on this list. We are finally getting a new DLC for Age of Empires 4, and it's called the Sultans Ascend. A lot of people don't like AoE 4, but I personally absolutely love it. I think the game brought a lot of small but innovative changes to the general AoE gameplay which were much needed. And honestly, my biggest gripe with the game was that there wasn't enough single player content on launch. What was there was good, but there wasn't enough of it. Well, to rectify that, the Sultans Ascend DLC brings to the table an all-new 8-mission campaign, which takes place in the Middle East during the European Crusades, as you take role of the Muslim resistance to the invasion and follow the story of well-known Muslim leaders and how they fought against the holy orders of the Templars, Hospitallers, and the Teutons. You will fight in some great strategic and well-known battles of history, and this is actually the first Age of Empires campaign to feature a combination of naval gameplay. And if all of this wasn't enough, we are also getting 2 completely new playable civilizations, the Japanese and the Byzantines, along with 10 new single-player maps for skirmish and multiplayer, as well as new hero abilities and new mechanics at our disposal. This DLC looks to be awesome, and I can only hope that it is good and successful, because I sure as hell want to see them make more AoE 4 content. It's actually my dream if they make more content frequently for this game like they do for the second one. Age 4 The Sultans Ascend releases on the 14th of November, so be ready for it. Next up on the list is the third Paradox game DLC, and oh boy is Paradox on fire this month. This is the Colossus of the South DLC for Victoria 3, releasing on the 14th of November. This is a new region pack for Victoria 3, which focuses on the Amazon region on South America. This region pack will put a heavier focus on historically inspired narrative content rather than a focus on art and mechanical systems. Players will be able to experience historical events throughout Brazil's history from 1836 to 1936 via new journal entries and events with historical flavor and alternate history options. We will get content surrounding the fall of the Brazilian Empire and the birth of the first Brazilian Republic, as well as new content, cultures, and more concerning Brazilian unification. We will also get some unique events related to the exploration and exploitation of the Amazon rainforest, as well as a collection of new characters from history books. For a DLC priced at $6, Colossus of the South seems to be jam-packed with content centering around South American nations which are newly freed from European dominance. Players can take their claim on the future of the Southern Hemisphere on 14th of November, so look forward to it. Next up on the list is Warhammer Age of Sigmar Realms of Ruin. This is a real-time strategy game set in the iconic Warhammer universe, where you become a warlord and lead 4 unique factions to conquer the world. These factions include the Stormcast Eternals, the Oryx, Nighthaunt, as well as Tzeentch. What's so special about this game is that it reminds me of the golden era of RTS games of old, like Warcraft 3. From its visuals, graphics, presentation, to its immersive storytelling, what I played of the demo showed me a rich and cinematic campaign of desperate survival, both from the perspective of righteous champions as well as villainous warlords. I'm not gonna lie guys, this game is giving me some serious nostalgia, and it's just so sad that we rarely get any RTS games these days which feature deep immersive storytelling campaigns. The game also has an extensive and comprehensive multiplayer as well as a revolutionary map editor with extreme and precise control, so players can create their own content for the community to play. Warhammer Age of Sigmar seems to have the foundations of a spectacular RTS game, has good amount of content on launch, and honestly if the devs continue to support this game, it could become one of the best modern RTS games. And I can't wait to play the full campaign on its launch on 17th of November. Now for the final game of the list, it is something that I have been waiting for a long time, and oh boy is it so special. When we talk about World War I era RTS games, there isn't much on offer these days. But to rectify our World War I cravings, we are now getting Last Train Home, developed by THQ Nordic. Even though this game is set right after the events of World War I, it is giving us a unique scenario and story content unlike anything we have ever seen before. We embark on a desperate mission through the war-torn and devastated Russia as civil war has erupted between the red and white armies of Russia, and we are a group of Czech soldiers who had fought in World War I, and we are trying to reach back to our home. We decide to travel via an armored train, but the path is treacherous and fraught with peril. We are low on resources and our crew is exhausted, but we must keep pushing forward despite the horror and tragedy that surround us. This is a historically inspired, very personal story about a group of soldiers who gave everything they had to protect their loved ones and in the hope of returning to them. You can think of this game as a mixture of Frostpunk and Company of Heroes, where you equip your soldiers, manage your crew, upgrade and control your train, all the while as you journey through a war-torn snowfields of Siberia and make new allies and overcome crisis after crisis as the civil war rages on. From the demo that I played, it was mechanically very strong and full of emotional storytelling, and I could see myself playing this game for hours upon hours and forgetting everything around me. I could really feel the passion of the developers as they really wanted to portray the hardships and the bravery of these soldiers. I am looking forward to Last Train Home on the 28th of November. This was it from me guys. These are all prominent strategy games releasing in the month of November 2023, and let me know in the comments if you're excited for them and which one you will be getting. Also let me know if I missed any of the games, and if you enjoyed the video then please subscribe to the channel. I hope you all have an amazing day full of positivity and happy gaming guys.